That's what happens when you go on your phone in your car. Oh, I was going 30 then. That's pretty good. Whoa, 30, 32. Yeah, it gets up to speed really quick on the flat. It's quite impressive, really. This is Jason's. This is the Jasion X-Hunter. So if you've got an X, get on the phone to him quick, because Jasion is after them. This is something we haven't had much of on the channel before. It's a folding fat tyre e-bike, but it's got a difference. It's got a big saddle, but it's also really quick. Hello, yes, we are on the Jasion X-Hunter, and we're currently doing a throttle only speed test. I say throttle only, I'm just ghost pedaling. There is a throttle though, and I'll tell you something, at this speed, and we're going about 25 miles an hour, they reckon it might be able to go 30, but yeah, with my weight, 100 kilograms, we're going 25. The no load speed was 35. It is a 48 volt, 13 amp hour battery, 624 watt hours. They reckon a range of 90 kilometers under perfect conditions, light rider, and going slow. Obviously, because we've made it go this fast, we're not going to get that far. We'll see how we do. The motor itself, I'm guessing, is like a 750 watt motor, but it peaks at 1,200. Go, go. That's what happens when you go on your phone in your car. So, how do you differentiate this bike? This folding fat tyre, 20-inch tyre, 4-inch wide bike from all the other fat tyre e-bikes out there, because there's a lot. Well, let's kind of think about what you get. At the very most basic, that maybe cost about 700 quid, you'll have front suspension. That front suspension will not be lockable. Is this? Yes, it is. So it's got front suspension. And then they might introduce rear suspension for a bit more money. Has this got rear suspension? Yes, it has. Let's go through the big thingamajigs. And it's not too bad. And then they might have a bigger motor, or at least a more powerful one. Has it got that? Yes, it has. We'll see how fast we can push it later on with a bit of pedaling. And they might have 90 Newton meters of torque. This one apparently has got 90 Newton meters of torque. So we are at the hill climb. 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh. Doesn't feel like 90 Newton meters of torque. 16, starting to slow. Battery sagged to 4 bars, 10 miles an hour. This, it's not 90 Newton meters of torque. No offense, Jason. It's less than that. I'd say it's less than 80. It feels more like, well, based on the numbers we've got so far, and obviously we've taken a hell of a lot of bikes up this hill now, feels like 60 Newton meters of torque. By the way, if I don't mention the speedo being accurate, then it is, because I always test it. And across the line. Right, okay, let's just carry on. That took us down to 3 bars. And Jason's X-Hunter crosses the line in 1 minute 16 seconds. By no means a terrible time, but not exactly a 90 Newton meters of torque time. 10 seconds slower than the Engine Pro 2, and even more slower than our fat tyre folding e-bike of 2023, the Pivi Z20 Plus 1000. Probably its main price point rival, but that bike has indicators and hydraulic brakes, and approaching Black Friday is cheaper than it's ever been before. By the way, there will be links to this bike in the description, but also a discount code which I'm hoping will bring the price of Jason's bike down by quite a lot. Decently heavy, as expected. Goes low, low, low. 5'2", I reckon. You'll be alright on that. Now, it doesn't get that high though, because I have it at pretty much the highest. So that's the highest with this saddle. It's not that high, really. It's pretty much how I should have it, and I'm 5'9". You'd probably be okay up to about 6 foot. Taller than that though, you might want to look elsewhere. But it's got a few nice things, like a nice visible colour screen, a buzzer rather than the bell, front and rear lights, brake lights at the back. Not foldable pedals though, but a nice chunky stand. And front and rear mudguards, but they are plastic. So, to fold, pull the lever, pull that thing, crack it open like so, get rid of the stand, put it down on the metal thing, pull this lever, there, and it's down. This also allows us to take the battery out, twist the key, pull it out. The key is below. Ooh, watch it don't slide out. That key holds it in there. And unlike the last bike, you can actually get the battery out. And it doesn't seem to rattle. Jason's battery. You do need the key to run the bike. Having the key at the bottom can be hard to get it in, but I did get lucky then. Watch you don't put your fingers in there. Put the tab back in. Tab's a bit fiddly. So yeah, with the key, position 1 is unlocked, which means you can take it out and you can take the battery out. Position 2 is battery locked in, but no power, and you can still take the key out. Position 3 is battery still locked in, but now we've got power to the bike, so you still need that key. It's handy for a bike like this because it can take a bit of time to take the battery out. Not ages, but it adds up if you've got to do it all the time. So if you need to just quickly run in somewhere and you want to leave the bike with the battery, at least you know that no one can mess with your bike if you take the key. Let's try and get a bit of speed. 7 gears, Shimano, Tawny, cheapo, and that is the next step up for our journey through what you get from a fat Tyre e-bike. The next thing they usually want to do is give you hydraulic brakes. Do Jasion? Oh, I was going 30 then. That's pretty good. So, no. And that's where we start losing out. This bike does not have hydraulic brakes, which is a shame, considering you might be going at 30 miles an hour. Because stopping power is important. Having said that, you can adjust cable disc brakes, which this has, so they work really well, but these brakes did not come well adjusted when it came. In fact, let's have a quick break to see how it came and what comes in the box. In the box we've got 2-amp charger, pedals, toolkit, quick release mechanism, manual. The packing was pretty standard, as was the packing inside. We didn't have much to do, and the seat and handlebars did slide. The pedal and wheel was easy, there was nothing at all to it. But when I heard the disc brakes rubbing like a cat with a sticky wheels, and then brake discs are rubbing, which is extremely annoying. Please, manufacturers, adjust your disc brakes, because a lot of people who buy these bikes don't want to have to do that. So just do us a favour and adjust your disc brakes. Because if I get them and they're not adjusted, I'm going to let people know. And they might be like, oh, I don't want to go with them then, because I don't want to have to get my hands dirty. I just want to charge it up and get on the bike. And now I've adjusted it, because I've kind of struggled. It took me ages to try and get it so it wouldn't rub. And the rear ones still do rub. And now the rear brake does not feel quite as good as it could be. By the way, I can see who's behind me because I'm using the Pidzoom rear view mirror again, which I'm really loving right now. Whoa, 30, 32, 32, the gears are skipping though. 33, do I see? 33! Wow, it went over 33. That's pretty good. The price of this bike though probably does reflect what you get. There is a lot of cheap stuff on this bike, mainly the brakes, the gears. The screen's nice though, nice colour screen. Do you get a buzzer? You get a buzzer? Oh, decent buzzer actually, better than having a bell I think. It is a bit more offensive though to pedestrians. Tell you what though, the bike does feel good, but I might have to let some cars past. Tell you what, this mirror, oh, I love it. Right, okay, it is clear behind us. So let's do a brake test. At 25 we're doing at the moment. At this bus stop, whoa! You know what? God, I thought that was me. That was a firework. You know, that's 5 meters? About 5 meters. To be fair, when you anchor down, it's a lot better than I expected. still, I still want hydraulic brakes on a bike like this. After a 10-mile ride, the bike was hovering around 3 to 4 bars out of 5. However, the battery was sagging down to 2 bars pretty early on in the ride, so you will get a performance hit as the battery is used up, and I did notice a slight decrease in power/torque at the end of my ride. Yeah, it gets up to speed really quick on the flat. It's quite impressive, really. Like earlier, we're only getting up to 25, but with just a little bit of pedalling, very easily gets to 30. Like you're not even getting tired, which is weird because with no power, I've driven this with no power, ridden, and it isn't nice. It's as you'd expect from a fat tyre e-bike with the tread pattern that isn't really ideally suited for going forward. Let's say that cadence sensor. This bike has got a cadence sensor, which means it has to detect rotations of the pedals before it kicks in the power. So, oh, they're stalled. Right, it kicks in about 3/4 of a rotation, which isn't too bad. But I'd love to know in the comments other people's experience of the Jasion e-bikes in general. And obviously, if you do have this, the X-Hunter, the one that goes after previous boyfriends, girlfriends. Overall, the Jasion X-Hunter is a pretty decent folding fat tyre e-bike. At €1,300 though, it's too close in price to stronger offerings like the Pivi, so if we do manage to get a discount code or they reduce the price to around €1,100, then at that price it's definitely worth a look. By the way, coming towards the end of the year, we at the e-VRC will be having a rundown of our best and worst electric bikes of the year, and since the bikes I ride are generally considered budget e-bikes, our rundown will take the form of awards, and they will tentatively be called the Biebers, the Budget E-Bike Awards. So if you aren't subscribed and don't want to miss that, and of course all our other e-bike content, then you know what to do. Let us know in the comments if you can think of a better name for the awards, as once I do it, there's no going back. I've had a lot of fun riding this, despite the cheap bits. It's definitely a nice bike. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty, well, it looks the same as all the others, isn't it? So if that helps, or you enjoyed the video, then do give us a thumbs up. If you want to purchase the bike, there'll be a link in the description below. I think it's probably going to be an affiliate link, and if you do use that, it will help the channel a lot, so I'd appreciate that. But until next time, ride safe.